tweeted, I found out why I got weird answers on this platform. I thought B or that it's like was a B when I wrote it down.
I'm so sorry. That yeah, that's my.
That's right.
I'll write a different number next time. So this is a derivative is 1/3 of parenthesis of f of x plus 5 to the 2/3 f prime of x. So I'm going to find out what's f of -5 is. This should give you a 3. And f prime of -5 is 1/2. Do you see that this go down 1, right 2? It should be -1/2.
Daniel? True.
You guys got 2 minutes. You're gonna make it quick.
Hi guys, we're here with NHS. If your name is called, could you please raise your hand? In your classes. Verba. Thank you so much. Congrats.
Bye.
Bye.
I interrupt every single period. Huh?
First period that took a while, right?
Yeah, I was so mad. I was pissed. And the second period, I said, "You got 2 minutes," and she was being. And I was like, "Okay, whatever." But luckily, you don't have me as a teacher. I didn't say anything. I'm holding back. I'm being politically correct.
No, yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree.
Anyway, so I will get -1/24 at the end. That will be the correct answer. And this one, I believe this one is gonna get bottom 0, so it's undefined. So ND was right. Now, also, I will ask you on the test, what happened with the G prime of 1? What happened with G prime 1? No. Sharp turn is what? Undefined. What does not exist? Undefined.
That's not good.
Possibly. Yes. No, as when you have slope on the left, does not equal to slope on the right.
Okay.
If that would have happened, like I hate it. That's what you were to get on the beat. Like no solution. Or...
The undefined does not exist should be fine on both in this situation. Huh? Yeah, it's fine. I'll put does not exist. Yeah.
8B.
8B. Okay, sure. What is an 8B?
It's the tangent line when in the equation.
I think the answer is 1/6 for slope, right? Is that right or no? Huh? It was what? 23/6.
I got 23.
Oh, 23/6. Okay. So if I just have, see, this is how fast I do this problem. This is x3/2 and the -4x to the 1/2. F prime of x equal to 3/2 x to the 1/2 minus 2x to the -1/2. I'm gonna plug in 9, so that's 3/2 to the 9 minus 2 times 9 to the -1/2. So this is just a math. So it'd be 27/2 minus 2 over
9 to the 1/2.
what is it?
9 to the 1/2. Square root.
Oh, that's shit. My bad. So that's 3, right? So it's 9/2. And this one is gonna be minus 2 and over 3. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this is 3/3. This is 2/2. So that is gonna be 27 minus 4/6. So it'd be 23/6. So 9 squared 81. 81 minus 36 is what? 45 over 45 over 3 is 15. So split y minus 15 equal to 23 over 6 times x minus 9. Is that okay?
Good job.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, where did the y come from again?
What?
Where did the y come from? Like the exponent. Oh, alright, cool.
Because you need a y value, so you need to plug in original function. You cannot plug into the derivative. If you plug in derivative, you get the slope of the point. If you plug in original function, you get the output of the point, which is a y coordinate. Next question.
Can you go over 6?
6, yeah. So you will have write out the first fourth derivative. So that is gonna be, I believe that's sine of x. Double prime of x equal to cosine of x. Triple prime of x is equal to negative sine of x.
Yeah.
F fourth derivative is gonna be negative cosine of x. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, and now look at 191 divided by 4. So that is gonna give you 4, 16, 31, and 7, 28. 3 is a remainder, so this negative sine of x.
You always have to put them in that order, regardless of what the f(x) is.
I have to take 4 derivative, depending on what I start. I could have started with negative sine of x. I could have some sort of negative cosine of x. I could have started with sine of x. That's
Doesn't
stuff.
matter.
I have to take 4 derivative to see the pattern. Because they call it cyclic behavior, so they go in like in cycles.
Yeah.
He's older. He's grading himself.
Next question.
Can you tell Kaden to watch his language?
You need to watch your language. Because I'm about to throw a mark at you.
You're gonna do what? Throw a marker at me? I'm not afraid. I'll dodge it.
Sure.
Steal from the teacher. If he flexes his hat.
Next question.
10C.
10C.
Yeah.
10C is no solution because you take a derivative cotangent is negative cosecant square of x. The problem of that is negative secant cosecant square of x minus square root 2 equal to 0. If you do that, c square of x equal to negative root 2, you cannot square root both sides because you cannot square root of the negative values, so there's no solution. Even if it's positive, then you will actually need a calculator to evaluate for that. And I don't think, yeah, I don't, wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't think there's a solution to that because they're less than 1. So they cannot have a solution between negative 1 and 1. Yeah. Because the graph is like upside down parabola like this, but there was between negative 1 to 1, there's a gap, there was no solutions there. Yes.
For question 5, you have like cosecant square x 1 page.
Question 5 is very tricky, and this is how I'm gonna trick you on the test. Is the final answer should be plus 2 cosecant of x. Did anybody get different? It's not negative.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's 2 negatives.
And now I'm gonna explain to you why some of you guys got it wrong. Here's the thing. Never tell the function from here. This is a bad part to tell the function. The reason why it's a bad part from the function is you have to factor out a negative sign to see that this is actually a negative. So always tell from here because this will be a better way to see it. Because even though it's longer, but you can see that's cosecant square of x plus h, and this one's 2 cotangent of x. The reason being is this one you have to see that factor out negative sign out, so it's a lot harder to do. So those are things that I will trick you as a teacher, or AP exam will trick you as an exam creator. And I mean, this is very normal. So I usually tell students don't see the f of x. At very beginning, yes. Later, you're gonna look at f of x plus h. That's more accurate. Questions? How about 4? What? 4, you should get 8 root 3. And the reason why that's important question, because I kind of the explanation here. Hold on a second, where am I? Okay, I'll write down for you. So first of all, you have to know this. Sorry. What is this? Definition of derivative, right? Every time you see this, something with x plus h over x delta x minus f of x over h. Every time you see this, it means this is a derivative of a function. But however, I can change this just tiny bit. So let's just copy and then paste this part. And I can change this to a c and c and c here. If I change that c, it just means I'm going to take a derivative and plug in c. But then you got a limit h approach 0 of 10 square of pi over 3 plus h minus 3. And you're going to be like, where's the 3 come from? And it's really confusing, right? But again, you got to tell the function from here. Which function? And we also know c. c is equal to pi over 3. Immediately, we can see that's pi over 3. That means we want a derivative at pi over 3. But the problem is, what is a function? Which function? I'm going to plug in pi over 3 plus h is going to give me 10 square of pi over 3 plus h. So that means f of x equal to 10 square of x, right? And then take a derivative, which is chain rule. So that's equal to 210 over x times secant square of x. Hopefully everybody understand that. It's a chain rule. So that'd be 2 times square root 3 times 4. So that'd be 8 square root 3.
You were 7B.
7b, hold on a second, 7b. No, that's just quotient wrote twice. That's very annoying. Check the answer at the end. It's very accurate.
No.
I got plus and minus 3. You can graph on a function, you can get plus minus 3.
Oh, okay.
You have to factor out a negative sign on the top and factor more.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yes, Miranda?
Is 3D undefined?
What?
3D.
3D is undefined, yeah, because it's 0 on the bottom.
What?
I don't know, 11, it's gonna be negative 3 over 4 and 15 over 2.
Yeah, let's run some practice problems.
What?
Let's run some practice problems. Like stuff that should be on the test. No, I think that's
I already write a test like everything like twice again, but if I have a monster drink today, I can write another one. But
Who got this for you? Monster.
uh,
I should provide you with speed. You want that?
Get an addiction to CA.
no, I don't addict to coffee. I just like the sugar. I don't like the coffee.
Everything good for it.
How much time I have?
Whoa.
Huh? Okay, any other question before the homework? I'll go over one more, 2 more, whatever. But I cannot write any more questions. I mean, I could, but it's very annoying for me to write them. But it's if you did all your homework, if you understand everything, you should be fine.
Cool, bro. I get it. You don't care.
What?
Cool, bro. I get it. You don't care. Is that right?
You got me. You heard me. Oh my god, I'm hurt.
He ain't working.
He ain't working.
This kid. Anyway,
All right. Good note.
all right. Then we're gonna talk about stuff today.
Welcome here. Almost welcome back. Yeah, I did.
You're doing the wrong order. You're doing left.
Oh.
You gotta do right, do left, left, do
That doesn't matter, but because it's adding, so it doesn't matter. Righty, left, lefty, right.
No, but like when the
It makes sense first.
Yeah, I usually do derivative first, and leave for second one alone, and then I'll leave a first one alone and take it to the second one. But that's my habit of doing things. But if a low D high D low, that matter because subtracting sign, so you'll get a completely wrong answer if you do the wrong order. But the product rule, no.
After this, we done with derivatives, or are they just gonna get harder and harder?
Next section is gonna be hard because next section is word problem.
Oh, cook, bro. Everything was hard in this house. Where's the little shits I got?
I can do a word problem.
Yeah, I know some of you guys cannot read, so me included. So let's talk about one question. We're gonna talk about two questions. Those both questions will be on the test, so be careful. So Damien, pay attention. So I'm gonna find dy dx of this function. Now the problem of this is not like you don't understand calculus, is you don't understand the argument, a parenthesis. You don't understand. So a lot of people mess this question up. So first thing I will tell you is, no, it cannot distribute. You cannot do anything to the argument unless it's identity. Unfortunately, sine of x plus y is identity, so you can probably choose to do that way, but that's gonna be very pain in the butt. So avoid identity in that situation. Avoid that understand like arguments. Make sure that this is a two-layer situations. That's what you need to understand. A lot of time people think that sine times x plus y. It's not sine times x plus y. That's very bad thinking, but it's not. And I will say that clearly again is the argument. Most of you guys doesn't have very good I would say algebras foundation. So including my son. My son is sixth grade, and his teacher is just teaching some bad math, and I had to crash out, and then so I called the teacher and kind of, it, and I say that this is not correct.
You need a tutor right here.
So I was really frustrated, but anyway, we'll get into that. So what happened is, can you take a derivative of sine of x plus y equal to y squared? Can you take a derivative with respect to x using implicit derivative? Now, why do I need an implicit derivative here? Because the y is inside the argument too. So this will be the third situation. Even sine of y, you need an implicit derivative, not just x plus y. So can you take a derivative of the first line, try it, and tell me what happened? And I'll tell you what your thinking is. Don't worry about any further on. And just, if you make a mistake, it's okay, but just correct your thinking after I teach you. But I want you to try first to see how many of you guys can take a derivative of this properly. I'll give you 30 seconds. Oh, I thought that was Lee. It was empty. Andy doesn't like time punch.
You do y over x.
Okay, so this one is one of the most common missed question on the test, but it's actually fairly easy, and I've explained to you. So let's take a derivative to the outer layer. What's the derivative of outer layer here? It's gonna be cosine, right? So the cosine of x plus y. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna take a derivative of the green part, which is the green part, which is what's derivative of the green part? No.
Yeah, right. And we're like implicit at the one there. I like that.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's just the y, you get rid of the y. You just put dy dx.
Yeah. If it just is cosine of y, then it will be sine of y times dy dx. Yes.
Okay.
Because there's an argument. So the problem is an argument. Now here's the next problem: is people don't understand how argument function. It's not it's not cosine times x plus y. It's cosine of x plus y. So read it correctly, so that way you know how to do math correctly. Of means parentheses. So it's cosine of x plus y. Now realize that I need to get dy dx by itself. So what's dy dx? Dy dx is right here, right? But the problem is dy dx is inside a parenthesis. So how do we get them? Distribute. Yeah. And people says, how do I distribute this? Well, the distribution is going to be take this whole thing and distribute inside like this. Why the whole thing? It's not cosine x plus y. It's just the whole thing itself is a function. You're gonna the expression. You're gonna distribute the whole thing. Yes, Miranda.
Are we not doing product rule?
We don't do product rule. We did chain rule. So because it's not sine times x plus y, it's sine of x plus y. So there is no product rule, and that's why people get confused a lot. Is they don't understand of. I sort of realized that this. My best friend, his name is Michael Bear. He write a book called SAT for Black Book. I don't know if you ever heard it before. He's one of the best Amazon seller. And in college, that he was writing his linguistic major, and was writing his thesis for his doctorate, or master, whatever. Anyway, so and his thesis on language is like when you listen to Chinese people talk, you always thought like Chinese people talk really fast. And when I listen to Hispanic people talk, especially Puerto Rican, and I think like they talk really fast. Okay, but not, Colombians talk a little bit slower. I don't know if it's true. It's true. It's like I think it feels like it's more proper and more slow and more like you can hear the space between words. So his theory on language is if you learn a language is how fast you can learn the space between words. Like when you typing, if you type in the essay, right? Imagine you don't have space bar. You're just typing without space bar. It's really hard. That's how we hear another language because we don't hear the space between words. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but if I listen to a Hispanic speaker, then donde estás, right? We can hear donde, and there is estás. There's a space between there. We can hear that. But as a Chinese people listen to that, it'd be like, it's everything jumbled together without a space in between. So what happened in math is parenthesis. Most of you guys don't see the parenthesis. So this is not a product rule, it's actually a chain rule because sine of x plus y is parenthesis. So you take a derivative outside first, and you leave it inside alone, and you take a derivative inside. Now this whole thing is a function. Now it's going to distribute. So therefore it's going to be cosine of x plus y plus dy dx of cosine of x plus y. And is equal to 2y dy dx. Now, if you realize we are trying to isolate this, so this term are connected by multiplication. It's connected multiplication is okay. We can move all this term to the left side. So I'm gonna put a parenthesis right here because I forgot. So I'm gonna say cosine of x plus y is equal to 2y dy dx minus dy dx times cosine of x plus y. How do I isolate the dy dx?
Anti-distributed.
Anti-distributed. That's actually a very interesting way to say it. Yeah, I agree with that. Cosine of x plus y. Factoring. Okay, so dy dx is equal to cosine of x plus y divided by 2y minus cosine of x plus y. Now realize that cosine of x plus y cannot cancel. A lot of people try to be cute, I hear, and they say, oh yeah, the answer is 1 over 2y because they cancel out the cosine of x plus y. You're not allowed to do that because think about, you cannot do this, right? You cannot cancel the 2 and just become 1 over 4. You can cancel, however, it's going to be like this. You can factor out. If it's a factor, then you can cancel. Then you can say this cancel out is equal to 1 over 3. That'll be a correct answer. But in this case, I cannot factor anything out. So my answer is going to leave as cosine of x plus y over 2y minus cosine of x plus y. This is one of the most common missed questions because people don't understand argument. It's not because people don't understand calculus. It's people don't understand argument. There's a difference. Is you don't hear space between words. The more you hear the space between words in math, which is the parentheses. So I should write a thesis about math or teaching math. Is people need to recognize what a parenthesis is. I'm telling you, even middle school teacher have it confused all the time. I have to correct a high school teacher how to do a parentheses. When we stop live stream, I'll show you.
Let's hit a harder problem.
Okay, does this make understand? Okay, now we're gonna talk about second derivative. By the way, Lee, do you know what the equation is this? X squared plus y squared equal to 9. Do you know? Let's get Lee.
I knew what it was, and I circled. Circle?
Because Lee is next to Andy. He's Andy's level right now. I'm sorry, Lee. Andy will make fun of you. Will make fun of him. We're not making fun of you. We're making fun of Lee. I like make fun of life. I think it's too boring without making fun of it. I don't think you should get offended. But so that's why I kind of like Sepper because I can make fun of it and he's not gonna get offended. No, I think life's too short to be upset about people make fun of you.
I'm the one making fun of you.
All right, so I'm going to take the derivative of this function. What's the notation of second derivative? It looks like this. This is the same thing as saying f double prime. We're going to take a second derivative of this. If I take a second derivative of this, I'm going to take derivative of x squared. What's derivative of x squared? What's derivative of y squared?
2y.
What's derivative of 9? Okay, so I'm going to move to the other side. And then dy dx is equal to negative 2x over 2y. And that's equal to negative x over y. You complete the first derivative without problem, no hiccup. Everybody can do this. But what happened is we're going to take second derivative on this function. So that's take second derivative on this. Yeah, this is part of the algebra, okay? So I'm taking second derivative. I'm going to get d2y dx2. And the left side is not a problem. It just got a second derivative notation. But how about the right side? How do I take derivative of negative x over y? What's a good suggestion? What? No, I won't do that. I'll just leave it as a quotient. What can I do with a quotient? Quotient rule. low d high. So low d high is what? -1 minus what is next one? High d low. What's low? Dy dx all over low. And you already successfully taken second derivative. Now the harder part is actually not second derivative. Everybody should be able to do this fairly easily. Is to be able to replace this dy dx here, because we have a dy dx. I don't want my second derivative have a first derivative notation in there, so I'm gonna substitute in there. We're gonna do that further also. So this equal to -y. Can we say that? Positive x, and then dy dx, which is -x over y squared.
How'd you get the negative x and dy over dx?
What?
The negative x and the dy over dx. That's the question.
Low d high, and then high, which is -x. D low, which is y. Derivative of low is dy dx.
They're easy, but there's a single denominator.
Yep, that's a great question. But in this case, there's also a single quotient here, so this will be the exception. Okay, because I cannot simplify. If it's an x to the, if today is x to the 3/2 over x to the 1/2, because they have the same thing, then I can change the power rule to become x to the 1, and derivative 1 is going to be, derivative of this is going to be, eventually is derivative of x, which is equal to 1. But the problem is x over y is not the same thing. So I cannot simplify. So I cannot do anything further. So I have to do quotient rule. So you're absolutely right. It just sometimes there is an exception. In this case, is because x and y are two different variables. So we can really do power rule in this case. We have to find another way.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get to the hard part. This is actually the easy part. The hard part is actually just algebra. So that's going to be -y minus x squared over y, right? Over y squared, right? Do you see this is the top part of the fraction and this is the bottom part of the fraction? Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I multiply this by y over y? So that's equal to y, and that's going to be -y squared minus x squared all over y squared, but I'm going to keep change flip, so it's going to be times 1 over y squared. Is that okay? Divided by, okay, let me write it. Divided by y squared, because the top function divided by the bottom function. Is that okay? Because this is the top, this is the bottom. It's top divided by bottom. Is that okay? Now I'm gonna factor out a -1 here, so because that's gonna be x squared plus y squared over y, and this is gonna be y to the second. So that's going to be y to the third times -x squared plus y squared. Now, final touch here. Do you guys remember what's x squared plus y squared?
No, it's 9.
It's 9.
9.
That shit's easy. Wait, you multiply the left side by y over y?
Yeah, because I want to have a common denominator in this situation. Because if I just have a -y minus x squared over y, I cannot combine until they have the same denominator. It's just adding fraction.
Negative
Oh, I get it.
2y,
Yeah.
right?
-y squared. Now y times y is y squared, not 2y.
No, I really said no.
That's a lot of damn requests.
On the bottom.
What do you want?
On the bottom. Why did you divide by y squared?
Because it's top divided by bottom, right? This usually, like, if you ever have says 5 over 3, right? Can you write down 5 divided by 3? So this is the 5, this is the 3. So 5 divided by 3. Now divide is going to give you keep change flip, so it'll be 1 over y squared. The top y square, yeah, is more. You get it from the combined fraction.
Mr. Yeah, that's not my test.
Yep,
Give us a harder one.
sure. I don't think you can handle it, but sure. I'll just issue you a different test, Kaden. You know how much I love you, so I'm gonna give you a special version.
Harder one for right now.
Special version. Oh, harder one? No, this is good enough.
You're generous,
I-
Mr. Yeah.
I'll probably give you a very, very similar question to this. I can give you a harder one, but it's not necessary. I won't do that to you.
Because it's gonna be similar.
Even as much as I don't like you, but I won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He's kidding.
Oh,
Mr. Yeah, are you just kidding?
I was kidding.
That guy-
You know what, your
You should have seen the fear in his eyes.
Oh, you want me to show you math, some math teacher? Okay.
I have a
Let me